Good morning from the BioMarine conference pitching sessions. With me I have from Ciimar, I have Vitor Vasconcelos. Vitor, welcome.
Thank you very much.
We are going to talk a little bit about Ciimar and the challenges that Ciimar is facing and how things are working. Ciimar is an investigation center formed by University of Porto, which is the host, and also bringing together researchers from Madeira University and Azores University, as well as the Portuguese Sea and Atmosphere Institute. My first question is, how is it going for you, the experience of bringing researchers from different locations and different backgrounds?
Well, I think it's very important and very interesting, because when we started in 2000, we were mostly biologists working on biological aspects of the ocean and of the environment. And then we felt that it was necessary to join other researchers. And so we started to contact other colleagues from physical oceanography to coastal engineering. Now we have people from pharmacy, law of the sea. And soon we realized that this amount and this mixture of people with different backgrounds was enriching our approach of the ocean and the environmental issues. And of course, this is a challenge, because we have to speak a common language, and sometimes that's not easy, because each of us has imprinted a special type of speech and a special type of doing science and technology. But I believe that after 14 years of being together, we are much richer. And of course, the science that we do now, I think it's much more broader than it would be if we didn't have this interdisciplinary approach.
Thank you. We understand that the research that you conduct with more than 400 researchers so far covers three key areas, three key thematic areas. Can you expand a little bit on those areas?
Yes, of course. By being a science center with such a high amount of people, we felt that we needed to specialize in some issues that were also important for the current times. And our three main research lines are global changes and ecosystem services, aquaculture and seafood safety, and marine biotechnology. And with these three main thematic lines, we cover most of the aspects of the knowledge of the ocean. So in the first line, we try to understand how the ocean and the coastal areas work from a physical, chemical, and biological point of view. We want to understand what are the main problems associated with the contamination of these systems. And then on the other two lines, aquaculture and marine biotechnology, we have more practical and applied aspects. So based on the knowledge that we gather on this first line, we can have also the application, for instance, developing new species for aquaculture, new feeds, and a more environmental sustainable aquaculture, which is needed because the fishing stocks are decreasing. And on the marine biotechnology thematic line, we want to take advantage of the huge potential of marine organisms in terms of new bioactive substances for different applications.
Okay, thank you. I understand that in this marine biotechnology side, the applications can span over so many different things that can cover industrial applications for boats, for instance. Also covering applications, for instance, for medicine and human health. Can you tell us a little bit about those?
Yeah, that's true, because we are taking advantage of the machinery that especially microorganisms like bacteria, cyanobacteria, and marine fungi have evolved during millions and millions of years, because they are here much before us, so they have time enough to learn how to defend themselves. And so we use those substances and try to search new applications with a broad range of approach. So when we have the biomass of these organisms is important to test. For instance, as you mentioned, the industrial applications, and so we are trying to develop new antifouling, which are ecologically friendly, that could be used in painting of boats, of ships, of aquaculture or monitoring systems in the ocean, but also on the pharmaceutical area, because that's very important for us. Pharmaceutical, anti-cancer, antimicrobial, and especially antiparasitical approaches.
Thank you. Projects you conduct at Ciimar, they usually go through a certain number of phases. Can you explain us how do the projects run in between these different phases?
Yes, we have at this moment around 80 projects going in Ciimar. Some of them are starting, so we are in the beginning of the process. For instance, we are isolating new compounds. We are doing bioassay guided approaches in order to understand and extract the substances that can be used. But in other projects, we are already on the area of characterizing the substances, so we know already what is the chemical structure of these substances. We have now 3 provisional patent demands, so we are also trying to patent some of these compounds, because in case they are, of course, interesting for the industry, it's important for us to protect our property. And so we have projects in these different phases, from the starting point for the survey point to the end point, which are now starting for the phase 1 of pharmaceutical testing.
Okay, thank you. We understand that currently the Institute, Ciimar, has over 100 employees working. How does the funding come from? Where does it come from now? And where do you envisage in the medium term that funding can be sourced from?
Okay, that was also very interesting, because for the past 14 years we have a very drastic change. In the beginning, more than 50% of our budget would come from the Portuguese Foundation of Science. Nowadays it's about 1/4, so we have to get the 3/4 of the budget from projects. We use competitive projects, either national or international projects, and we do also services for public and private enterprises, and more we are looking for the collaboration with industry, because we believe that our research has to be applied, and for that we have to talk with the industry, try to understand which are their problems, and then applying to joint projects, joint programs. So our money in the future would come mostly, I hope, from this contact with industry, and in that way we feel that we will be much more sustainable, and that's what we also want. We want to be more sustainable in order to be more stable.
Thank you. Coming into this conference, BioMarine conference, what are the key elements that you hope to bring back from the conference to Ciimar?
Well, the most important thing from my point of view is the networking and the increase of the sustainability of this net, because we cannot work alone, neither at national point but also internationally. So more and more we need to open our research to other research centers and to other institutions like industry. And so what I believe is the best of a convention like BioMarine is in fact the increased network, because we are together during 2-3 days with researchers, entrepreneurs, with companies from all over the world, and the increase of these contacts would probably make us much better in the future, because it would give us more opportunities for collaboration, and by that it gives us more stability by increasing our chances of getting funding.
Thank you, Vitor. And we wish you the best of luck either in the conference and also in the future prospects and developments for Ciimar.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.